rotation schedule are you going to be able to be flexible?
Able to flex more. I'm so that's my hometown, so
very comfortable there. Matt, up really quickly with some more. Now you.
Bottom of that list there, we also have Quexi, who played yesterday in the duos competition. One of the actual fully qualified duos with his partner Letwick, who's playing as well. He's just amazing. His qualifying run actually was one of the most mechanically skilled things I've ever seen, but also what a struggle it was. He had so many setbacks in that week that he qualified that I almost thought that he wasn't going to make it. It was going to be one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen.
But he was able to clutch up in the end and get to a spot. You see plenty of French representation coming out there. First Keemstar been around from the very beginning, able to compete on the stage as well. Robob's up there, and then we have to talk about the X2 twins. Jordan representing down south, known originally as one of the first veterans out there. We're going to toss it to a quick little video to see kind of what they're all about and what they were thinking going into the competition.
I'm twins, and I'm from Brisbane, Australia. I've played LAN, I've played online, I've played the Australian Open, I've played at Poland internationally. I really like LANs. It's a different setting because there's people actually watching as opposed to just people watching online. I think I'm definitely getting better with it with the more LANs I do. It doesn't really sink in until you actually land here and you get here like, oh, I'm actually in New York. It is definitely a cool experience. I like to listen to music before I play and try and treat it as if I was at home just playing any other scrim. You've got to put work into it. Sometimes you might have to get a little bit lucky with like qualifying and stuff like that. That's a part of it, but you can create your own luck through grinding, which is hard work. It's really cool meeting the people and like experiencing it with them and learning from each other. People that can keep their calm, they definitely come through.
And now we're into the qualifiers who qualified in the final week. The week 9 ones, the last chance qualifiers. When everything was on the line, they made it here. It's Clipnote, Cosmic, Tuzi, Aspect, Hornet, Creo, Legedian, Harians, Evil Mare, and Arcram 1X.
Clipnote, one of the players out of Brazil who, you know, he was there every single week, just in the top 10, not quite reaching that spot, which is how many spots are up per week for Brazil, but he finally did it in the final week. That shows he is clutch.
Yes, the Argentinian was all about it, and we have to talk about Aspect. Him and Ana were the original favorites going into the qualifiers, kind of slid off the pace a little bit, had to swap up their drop spots. In the final week, he rocketed up in the lead with 60 points, but the issue was he finished his games early. Everyone else had an extra half hour. He had to sit there, watching the leaderboard for over an hour, but when all was said and done, he got the final spot. He'll be playing on that stage, and he'll be looking to take everyone's walls.
That 17 elimination game to qualify was definitely memorable aspect, but Arkham 1X also we're going to go ahead and catch up with
there from Arkham. You know, just a get a brain going on there, looking to represent. But now the final group of competitors, it will be Softman, Moffat, and Dretha, Crew, Light, Mongrel, MQ, Teak, Blacks, and Skites.
I like the little dab there from Blacks. Absolutely incredible. Again, remember, these are the guys who qualified in the final week. And I do have to point out, and Greta was one of the players who did so. What an amazing performance it was. One of the few players who was streaming his final week, and he did it in an amazing fashion.
Winning 3 out of his first 5 games. He actually took a moment after that on the stream, kind of you could see him deep breath in, deep breath out, and kind of know he had it. He kept pushing forward. We got to see Crew yesterday, had some highlight reel plays, but wasn't quite able to push into the top 10. Going to want to do that today, but Bala, you know on this list who I want to talk about right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Let's hear it. What do you got for Mr. Mongrel himself?
Mongrel. What more? I mean, there's literally so much. I could talk about this guy forever. One of the most mechanically skilled players I've ever seen.
I try not to stress hard, I try to sleep well, eat well, and I try to think how I'm going to really play the game.
Lovely. And that allows you composure, right? Then you can dominate. Love it, Sky. Back to you guys at Unreal Island.
Thank you so much, Jordan and Skype. Skype originally known for his Winter Royale performance where he was top the qualifier, top the semifinal, and then top the final. It put him on the map, and now he's here competing on the main stage, which is set for everyone who is here. But all of you guys at home, make sure you're using Fortnite Fortnite.com/watch. Go check the website out. It is a more kind of tailored viewing experience. There's the ability to unlock additional items in-game. And on top of that, for somebody who's super analytical, there's a map stream. There's an individual player stream. You want to see the spotlighted players, TP or dubs, they'll be on there. You want to see the best players from Asia, they'll be on there. Best players from Brazil, they'll be on there. Make sure you go and utilize this tool. Whether you're trying to get better at Fortnite or just want to watch what you want to watch, we want to give you every possible potential way to increase your viewing experience. And let us know if there's anything else you want added in there. We're always looking to improve because we're lining in stats. We got the map. I mean, what more could you want as an analyst, Paula?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out when I get home. I'm going to go back and watch those because I need to see every little detail of some of these guys who are going to perform on the stage. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, and I can't wait to do that.
I mean, this is what it's going to allow these guys to push up into the prizing. I mean, just look at some of those numbers. Of course, everyone who made it here, $50,000 going through. But once you push into that top, you start seeing a little bit of a pay bump. But ultimately, at the top, it's about the $3 million. It's about being the best of the world and being crowned the world champion solo baller. This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. We're moments away from getting inside the stage and getting ready to launch the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition.
100 of the best players, every single one is be here. Are you ready for the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's start the show!
you to be happier. When the morning comes, and we see what we've become. In the cold light of day, we're a flame in the wind of the fire that we begun. Every argument, we can't take back. All that has happened, I think that we found the way that the story ends. Sing it if you know it.
Today competing. Have a good day. Thank you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Marshmallow! I tell you, I've opened up for a few DJs in my career. By far, the best one. Hands down. Guys, this is incredible stuff here. I'm Golden Boy, your host, and this is the moment that we have been waiting for 10 weeks, have culminated to this point right here in New York City, Arthur Ashe Stadium, this packed house. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause for being here with us today. Without you, this is not possible. But now it's all about these players up on this stage. And this right here, the trophy and the title of being the Fortnite World Champion. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I want to get into these games as soon as possible, but I think we got to ramp up the excitement just a little bit more.
No pain, no gain, no guts, no glory. I'm a one-man army, in a one-man Harley. Ain't no weapon formed against me, and you're ain't gonna stress me.
people every game, so if I can handle that, then I can handle anything, right?
I have seen it happen in real time. It's insane. I don't know how you deal. I mean, you've got a long way, to get to the end, but obviously vying for that #1 slot. How was your strategy working out going into your drop spot today? Your rotation, are you going to be flexible? What are your thought processes going into today, knowing that you're up against some of the best players in the world?
My drop spot's pretty good. I have some people contest me, but I'll just lay them out and then move on from there.
Lay him out, move on. Free 50 pot. There it is from the man himself. Back to you, GB.
Thank you once again, Jordan, for that. Now we're going to get into the games in a few moments here. Yesterday we hyped up nicely, and I think we can do it again. This is it. This is for this community right here, whether you're watching at home, whether you're here with us in New York City, ladies and gentlemen, in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Let me hear you. No. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let us hear you loud and proud. This is the Fortnite World Cup Finals, and let's send it over to your casters for the first set of games. It's Courage and Dr. Lupo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals Solos competition kicks off today, and I could not be more excited. I'm still sweating from the marshmallow performance we just saw, but absolutely, Dr. Lupo, this is going to be a darn good time.
100 of the best solo players the world has ever seen in Fortnite are today playing for $15 million in Jack. First place takes home $3 million, which is the largest individual prize for any player in esports ever up until this point. You realize that?
And that's a pretty,
that is ridiculous.
Pretty long history. It's going to be changed today as it's happening throughout the weekend. And we've seen the best competitors in the world go up in creative, obviously in the pro-am, in the duos competition, and now it is time for solos. We're going to go through the format, the prizing for everyone at home so you can get caught up to speed. Millions tuned in throughout the weekend so far, and even more we'll be watching here today. So Ben, I want to break down these rules for everyone at home. It's not your normal Fortnite game we're going to be playing.
Oh, no, it is not, especially if you've watched any competitive gameplay over the past. On your screen right now is the format. This is solo, so the top 25 placement will get you 3 placement points. Top 15 is 5. You make it all the way to top 5, that's 7 points. And that coveted victory royale, of which there will only be 6 today, is worth 10 points. But on top of that, it's not just about placement. Every single elimination is an additional point. Those are going to add up, and we're going to see exactly how things play out over 6 games. Yep. Those 6 games, we add those scores up. Jack, what's the take home? I know, just read it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, first place today wins $3 million US. If you get second, third, or fourth, your prize money you're winning is also above the 1 million mark. Hey, I wouldn't be too upset with 5th place either at 900 grand, but you see, top 20 all earn $112,500 or more. And guess what? Just because they made it here today, everyone on the stage will win $50,000 for their efforts across the last few months of competition. But I can tell you the prize money is sweet. It's great going up against the best in the world, but that right there, the coveted trophy on your screen and the title of Fortnite World Champion, the first ever solo World Champion, is what's on all these players' minds.
You have to remember, too, over the course of the 10 weeks of qualifiers, we had 40 million players throw their name in the pot to try and make their way to the top 100 here in New York City. And of those 100, only one gets the trophy. And I'm going to say this is mine just from watching him play over the last few days. Duos didn't go exactly how he wanted things to go, but I'm looking forward to seeing Benji Fishy rise above and just put on a good show for everybody. He's an excellent player, one of the best mechanically we've ever seen. His awareness is insane. What about you? Who do you have, Jack?
There's so many talented players. We've been comparing drop spots. We've been comparing how they performed yesterday. We talked about LAN experience and how much the nerves can get to them. Arkram is someone that showed up yesterday on stage, performed quite well, placing in the top 5. I think that today, with where he's dropped at, who he's going to be going up against, he could put on a good showing, but we want to hear your guys' thoughts as well. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Send us your thoughts. Who do you predict to win? We've also talked to many of the people here in the venue about who they've got coming out on top. Let's take a look.
Fortnite Solo World Cup Finals winner is Ghost Fizzle.
My picks to win solos has got to be this guy. Better.
I feel like Young Calculator or Clicks is gonna win.
I want to see Benji Fish take his own solo.
Tifu's gonna win. Tifu's gonna win.
It's gonna be between Clicks and Tifu, so it's gonna be Clicks though.
Probably Bizzle. He has the most experience.
I think Bizzle has a good chance.
En solo, je dirais Boogle, je pense.
Tifu's gonna win.
Je pense que va gagner.
Bizzle is just the most consistent player, and he's at the top right now, so I'd say Bizzle.
I'd probably say Bizzle too, because he has a lot of LAN experience and all that.
My prediction for the Solo World Cup champion is Doug.
People continue to pile on in here to the Arthur Ashe Stadium live from New York City. Dr. Lupo, our games are almost ready to kick things off, but there's so many ways you can watch this weekend. Obviously, streaming platform, but new initiative as well from Fortnite, a new way to watch on Fortnite.com/watch. There's some stats as well as all sorts of feeds you can watch from. It's a viewing experience with real-time stats at different points of view in game. Head to Fortnite.com/watch and choose from this channel a dedicated map channel and 10 rotating options covering a selection of diverse players. You see there on your screen exactly who we brought on up. Feed 3 features Tifu, a player spotlight. If you're repping the Oceanian region and you want to see the Twins play, you want to see Twins play, there you go. You've got your dedicated feed as well. An awesome thing to see for the future of competitiveness.
It's absolutely amazing. Everybody here wants to see the first game, and I've got good news. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition is about to begin. If you are here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, I need you to get as loud as you possibly can. 100 of the best players in the entire world are about to face off for $15 million. Jack, guess what? 100 players, the battle bus is loaded. 6, 5, 4, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Game 1 of 6 officially underway, and on your screen, all 100 players. Arguably the biggest day of their entire lives. The average age of competitors, just 16 years old. If you're a younger fan here in the audience, you dream of one day being here. If you're the same age, you look to your peers as people to look up to and aspire to be as good as one day. If you're a parent, I'm sure you can imagine what's going through these kids' minds. Here we go, folks. Tifu on your screen. Block has been his place forever, Dr. Lupo, and he is not shying away here in game number 1.
I had a chance earlier during warm-ups just talk to Tifu about this landing zone. It's basically, I don't care who else lands there. Without every other opponent there, he's got a chance to go up the hill potentially for gold. Wow, those remain uncontested. He has a free legendary chest right here in the middle. Look at the inventory already. Blue pump shotgun, gold tactical AR, gold standard AR. Swaps out. He actually puts down that tech AR and grabs a purple grenade launcher.
And this over right there as well. Flipnode for control of the block, unless Flipnode decides to say, whoa,
rotate away.
I've got a lot of respect for that gameplay. He knows block as well. Flipnode always landing here too. Will go ahead and fall away, and folks, I think as a sign of respect for Tifu as a player, they have forfeited the rest of block to this man, as he's already at 190 total HP and a fantastic inventory. Rotating here towards Fatal Fields. Class on your screen. Bucky there as well. Class a little bit of a mixed inventory, but this is what we talked about yesterday. If you play Fortnite, you know that in the Fatal Fields core maze, there is loot. Well, guess what?
Just floor spots.
Typically, you and I, I'm sure, Ben, break all the core down. We farm it on up. These players know the exact route of where the loot is while it's in the area, because they've studied this area of the map so much. It's the little things that make them
any of the floor loot possible. Underneath. Stink earlier. Snazy still has the high ground here. Not a ton of materials. 18 builds. At some point, he's going to have to opt to either push this or rotate away. Now might be the time to rotate away, unless Pluggo's going to push from behind. We'll see here.
Oh, wait, back shot.
Mind already has a gold combat for a slot there. Bugga separating from each other a little bit, not necessarily pressuring. Early game pressure at game 1 of 6 for World Cup solos would be could be pretty advantageous. Siphon for a shot, the heavy snipe. Forward goes, not quite enough. Bugga misses just behind as Snazy sneaks away from the higher floors of that north side building.
Yeah, Bugha winds up seeing that middle cherry blossom tree get knocked down, and a lot of times in competitive games, players will just hit the trees down to 50 total HP left, but they won't fully remove them from the map because the animation of the tree breaking gives away your position. So if you want to make sure you stay a little bit more hidden in your games at home, only break trees down to 50 total health left and leave them. Get a ton of material, but also remain as hidden as possible. Benji Fishy, a player with very high expectations for not only himself, but from the community. This duo, Mr. Savage. The first stink bomb comes on through, and with that damage, it looks like Benji Fishy wants a fight, but unfortunately does take 50 immediately from the back, and will go ahead and just give up his position for long.
A little bit of frustration on his face, and I can't blame him. Shots push a little bit on Nate right there. Pleasant Park still inside the safe zone, so moving away from this doesn't have to happen just yet. We'll see. Nate takes an opportunity, rotates all the way across to that treehouse building in the southwest corner. Meanwhile, southwest here, a little bit of back and forth there, not inside the zone. 90 gone down. It's early in the game. It's very maybe waiting to see if that headache comes through. Doesn't quite. Storm waiting inside. We
fight. Dr. Lupo, you're used to this in Nebraska, as right now we've got
like
Rogue
home for
Shark.
me, Jack.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you've got a ton of skill in this one. As we see Rogue Shark currently dropping down the bandage for the moment. Already the ramp goes through, and Rogue Shark just wasn't ready for it, so he didn't catch what happened right there, Dr. Lupo. Quick little breakdown. The campfire was placed, he lost control of his wall, but because he had no pyramid inside his box, the opponent placed a ramp and then edited past the ramp for extra cover. It's one of the fastest but most effective ways to take out an opponent when they're inside their 1x1. Left Eye did just get an elimination. Does use that shockwave to get away from E-Rouse, but solid start as well, and I believe I did just see a fan favorite in Vivid in the elimination feed picking up his first elim.
Storm starting to move. We have 56 seconds before the next circle closes, and it is a big crunch to the center of the map. Might not be able to see in the bottom right there, but folks, it is just northeast centered from Neo tilted. Everyone is going to get pushed together into the city. Let's see here. Dubs. Trying to push from the outside. A flint knock from his opponent to rotate away, and Dubs does not want to let them go. 46 back-to-back hits, and he can't find a bead on Evil Mare. Goes down out here at the old Greasy Grove Iceland.
And you see Evil Mare with still just in total about 80 HP. Got the 50 back for the elimination, so when you calculate it, really only had about 30 health left, so Dubs so close, but not able to connect with that final combat shotgun shot. And Dr. Lupo, look at this inventory for Riverson for Team Liquid. 6 shockwave grenades, 2 minis, 3 chug splashes, a launch pad. Weapon's a little bit awkward, if I'm going to be honest. Just a scoped assault rifle and a epic tactical shotgun, but Storm Surge is coming to play, and Dr. Lupo, we haven't really touched on that yet today. Inform the viewers at home as to exactly what this is.
So Storm Surge is a mechanic to prevent players from potentially sitting and not engaging in fights. If there are a certain number of players at this point, when there's over 70, when the circle closes, people are going to start to take 25 damage every tick. That's every 5 seconds, unless they are over the threshold for the amount of damage done in the lobby. It's a way to encourage players to get engaged in fights without having to force anybody. You can't really just sit the entire time. You've got to get engaged to get involved with what's going on.
And it ends when you go below that threshold. Exactly. This first threshold will drop below 7 players. So Storm Surge will remain in play right now until 69 players is reached. You see Booga with an elimination, Blaster with one as well. Players above the damage threshold sitting pretty right now, but players who are below it, they're frantically searching for some damage they can do to try to get themselves in a safe spot.
Aqua on your screen, one of the World Cup duo champions from yesterday. Just outside. Giving shots inside here. Colorful trying to rotate back away. Doesn't want to quite get caught just yet. Those splashes, by the way, one of the best healing items in the game right now in scrimmages and competitive Fortnite. An instant throw to 20. And it's HP or shield with transfer across both. May not be able to get this off quite yet. It's got to cancel.
He did.
Oh, he did indeed. Yep. Kurtz applying pressure from the side. Not a lot of ammunition right now in the inventory. There's 70 medium rounds for that heavy AR. Right at tap fire at a distance, though.
Look at how dead center this zone is in the bottom right of your screen. Mr. Savage did just get an elimination down on him often. Savage still alive in this one, looking to bounce back from yesterday. I know Mr. Savage wasn't too happy with the final performance. Kurtz still, we saw the player piece on him from Brazil, trying to get for his family. Class elimination there as well on the Twins. Storm Surge is now active with the players still above. So people will begin taking damage, and that's a solid chunk with that common tactical shotgun. But another player begins to throw their name in the hat, not Lupo. Kurtz, no more shield left, we'll back up the moment.
At this point, with the circle where it is, we've got 60 seconds before things start to close, and I would say maybe a third of the field is still outside of the next safe zone. You're going to see a lot of players pushing the Loot Lake. You have to realize if you're watching at home and you're here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, competitive Fortnite is very much about late game strategy and position. 74 players right now remaining does not surprise us in the slightest, to be honest, especially with how much money is on the line. Arians goes down. That one, not enough damage dealt. You see the Storm Surge. 2 more players did get eliminated.
I think he just got a buff down. Players began to drop. Mickey went down to the Storm. Skype elimination on Astonish. We are 1 player away from the end of Storm Surge, and there it is as we just hit the threshold. So Now no more panic has to come through for these players for the moment. The next one will come into play in a couple more zones as Keenstar right now, the double qualified player from France, currently set on up against Envy's Bucky as they are within a couple boxes of each other.
See exactly where things move here. Hold these edits, look out. No reason to apply too much pressure just yet. He's kind of waiting to see other players that may be around him rotating away, and that's exactly the play. Bucky, by the way, a player that we've seen in competitive qualifiers. He actually spent some time talking to Hogman a lot to refine his gameplay and his drop, and we've seen a big improvement since then. Big shout out to Hogman for helping Bucky out with that one. All the way here to the World Cup solo finals.
Will he use one of the campfires in the inventory for 25 extra health?
It depends on
It
depends on the play. If he's looking towards late game, he's going to try and hold on to those for a heal off potentially when that final zone starts to close. We'll have to see. A quick reminder, by the way, on the right side of your screen, a victory royale. The win is worth 10 placement points. Those are big. Top 5 is 7 points. Top 15 is 5. Top 25 is 3 points, and every single elimination for these players is an additional point. Here we go. The focus of the current map right now. A lot of players out here on the hill. The northeast side of Neo Tilted, actually a pretty good spot. You have multiple slips nearby. While those are still on, you have to remember those do turn off. Sky picking shots. I believe that's on DRG just to the south. No pressure applied there. He's trying to sneak any shot he can through. Actually, it's challenged. Surprises me. Doesn't go for the build there to protect and get a better spot.
Wow, that's solid damage.
Let's go for it.
Solid damage. And what's also on the ground right here. The legendary still can swap to that when needed. Right now, choosing to go with the spray weapon player that's close. We have a replay coming on of Mega from FaZe, who played yesterday in the duos competition with Dubs. Dubs already dropped his cable. See how Mega plays this one. Gets in the couple Era comes through, and near max materials, Slurp Juice as well as Chunk Splashes will be sitting pretty with the inventory right there. The next zone did just pop on up, moving to kind of the eastern side of the current zone. And what we're seeing right now from Skite is Skite recognizes he's got extra materials back. He's going to run back, build out a little bit, grab the excess materials, and continue to tunnel with these mats. He's also juggling items over as well to still have the ability to use these whenever he would like to wish to. Next zones. Here's everything on the map. A rocket being fired to the far side. Bizzle there, still on your screen. Commandment, Epic Whale. Prisionero still boxed up just outside the zone, and Zombie, who was one of the more dominant European players in the online qualifier, still in this one, but Zate was in the lead with Sap yesterday, 5 of the 6 games, but in the end, not able to close it out. You see, just continuing to spread. Lupo 50. So we're about a minute away before it activates. Bizzle with elimination, though, down on the stage.
At this point, too, you have a lot of players. Crunch is going to start to happen. Player counts. A single Shadow Bomb going to be used for rotation if he has to. Not quite yet, though. He's already in the next safe zone. That heavy sniper rifle. World Cup apartment complex. You have countless players stacked in next to each other. Bizzle going for the edit reset, can't quite catch himself just yet.
Muga's still making plays happen. A lot of people have him high up on the leaders, and here it is again. Yarkos with the elimination from earlier on, down onto Aqua, who obviously was our Fortnite World Champion yesterday in duos. Rough start in game number 1. Bizzle, one of the most consistent and winningest Fortnite pro players of all time, Dr. Lupo. When you say a veteran in Fortnite competitive, Bizzle is at the top of that list, but here's Yarkos again, now on the high ground after that first elimination down onto Aqua, looking for more right now as he's got ultimate high.
This is one of the best spots in the game right now. We'll have to see where the map is going to rotate, north-northwest, so he's going to have to make a move soon. A very hefty weapon loadout. Not a whole ton of rotation. Does have the 2 launch pads, does have the redeploy, but those are going to leave you exposed up in the air. Little look back, King. Rotation here. The feed starting to light up. 38 players.
Oh, yeah.
And that count is going to go down, down, down. 6 eliminated. Colorful taking another one out as well. King, 4 eliminations. Yeah, placement points don't kick in until top 25, so he already has those 4. So those are 4 very, very big points. Here we go. The Storm starting to pressure players. You're going to see a lot of launch pads and redeploys coming to play, and those community movement mechanics like launch pads actually just flew right through King's shot.
That could be bad, Dr. Really bad. Maybe.
With a knee limp, your feet in the top left, the most important things to watch if you're looking for players' names. So here's going to be late in base players out. Movement now. Here it is, the Shadow Bomb for rotation. He's still got 2 more in his inventory, which this late in the game is huge. He does have 3 shockwave grenades as well, in case height needs to be taken, or even a long-range rotation. 8 players remaining, Jack Yarkos. 4 eliminations, everyone in here getting those placement points. Beam from above, it goes down. No builds, gonna be tough there. Psalm picking up that healing. Buga though, 5 right now moving forward.
Not only that, 2 Shadow Bombs left, still with shockwave grenades too. The number 1 complete we've seen in competitive Fortnite this weekend. When do you use the shockwave to go for height? It's Psalm currently on height. Buga sees that. That was him taking a look for exactly where the player is. I think it's time, Dr. Lupo. Go, Shadow Bomb will be used. Okay, so not quite doing it yet.
Looking for a high ground.
Yeah, I was looking to see.
He's saving those. Don't you worry. I guarantee before too long, a player like this is going to make plays. Sitting the edge of the storm, the box up. He's going for edit shots. Big hit. My gosh. The outside. Buga picking up his 6th elimination. Creo, Rux, Buga all on the low ground. Bella EU, all there.
One player shockwave to height. It's still Psalm up top.
Safe floor is Creo, 1v1 up top, 1v1 on the bottom, stuck in the box. Big hits, back-to-back shots. Buga picking up another elimination.
Buga is insane
now. Almost going to be his game to win. We'll see here another one. Can he find the 9th elimination? Victory Royale, the world.
Dr. Lupo, it might be time soon. It might be time soon. Buga smiling. He's got the health advantage. It might be time for the shockwave. Soar up in the sky. Go for it. Here it is. Shockwave dies. No elimination. players for the victory royale. What a swing of points right there, Dr. Lupo. You get the win. You get max placement points. 9 limbs too. Folks, that is a statement game number 1 for Bugha. And here it is again. The shockwave up. You see the damage coming on through, but at that point, with that much of a health advantage, shot. What a brilliant ending. Talk about a great late game. Solos absolutely living up to the hype of the duo competition yesterday.
Imagine being in the World Cup Finals, and instead of opting for a safe, stay down the bottom, wait, bait your shots, break down, and you ascend into the high ground, take over, and get the victory.
Much deserved game 1 victory right there. The number one thing I noticed from Bugha, in the shadow bombs, certain people worry so much about popping out of the shadow and immediately boxing and protecting themselves. Instead, Bugha winds up pushing forward, looking for where his next victim could be, and then pops out of the shadow and eliminates the player. It happened 3 times right there, and it was big reasons why he was able to push on through. Bugha, an incredible performance. What is that, 19 points in game number 1?
Game number 1.
I don't see how anyone's above that.
At this point, I mean, we're actually just going to take a look exactly to see where
like I predicted
that falls on the leaderboards. No surprise here, a 9-point lead out of game 1. Kings 7 eliminations, we saw that earlier. Sadly goes down a little bit before those top couple of plays. Storm, Russ, Yarkos, a ton of top-tier players across the board right now. But a 9-point lead after game 1 is absolutely incredible.
And you look at the leaderboard right now, big talk of EU versus NA. EU, why so quiet earlier in the day? NA, why so quiet at the end of the day? 8 of the 10 top players all from the US. Here's your 11th through 20th place right now. Benji Fishy on there, Evil Mare on there as well. But a fantastic start to today, and I'm loving the energy from this crowd at the first ever Fortnite World Cup. They saw how good the competition was yesterday, and I know everyone was so excited to kick it off today with millions watching online. They saw Bugha take game number 1. He's down on the floor with Jordan Fisher.
Bugha! Huge first game for the NA player. That's what you want to see. You want a health advantage at the end. 9 E-limbs to cap off an incredible first game. What is your thought process going into the final moments of the in-game, right? At 1v1 there at the end, you've got health advantage. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm pretty much low ground. I have like 200 mads, and I realized that I could probably make
Amazing. Well, we saw that happen in real time. An amazing clutch for an end of the first game. Yo, Jack, Lupo, that is exactly what you want to see, is it not?
I mean, I don't think you can really ask for much more than that. A victory royale and 9 limbs. The man is so talented, has always been one of the top solo players in the North American region, and he shows it right there in game 1, and already a 9-point lead. Solid.
What an incredible gate already. Number 1 down, we have 5 left to go. We want to look and see exactly how some of those pieces played out, how everything worked, and maybe a little bit of a deep dive into how some of these players play. So we're going to throw it over to Sundown, Unreal Island, to take a look.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And while Bugha was able to dominate the rest of the lobby, I want to take a look at one of the other most marquee and aggressive players we saw. He had the entire lobby saying, Toda salve al rey de Argentina. It is king of 9Z with an incredible 70 elimination run in 20th place. Let's take a look at some of this gameplay. So right away, you'll notice, what is he doing? He's patented going forward, wall replace, on land 123. That's going to be the theme of these clips. He doesn't miss his shot. Either throwing the donkey laugh out there, throwing him a little love, saying, I don't care who you are. Now he's sitting on the 4 elims. He's in the box fight, and he's constantly looking to pick up new targets. Replaces the wall from the side, turns around, and picks up a great elimination there onto Bucky in the rotation. But now watch on the spree he's on. 5 elims right now. Cones himself off. Look at this. The player challenges him. He's not building. He's going at him. He says, if you want to fight me, I shoot first. I am the king. was able to go, but unfortunately gets caught there in the rotation, but still a brilliant performance from the young Argentinian. He's looking to challenge, he's looking to frag out with the best of the best, putting himself currently sitting in the #2 spot. He has played so absurdly well in that first game. This is what it's all about. If you can bring your aggression, what you do in the qualifiers, and take it to this stage, and you don't have nerves. If you're like Booga and say, I'm gonna go. If you're like King and say, you wanna edit, I'll shoot first. I'll take the 50 health on Elim there, and I will take the point in staying in the match. You can wait and watch me dominate. Let's get into match 2, because that first match was insane. Courage and Lupo, take it away, guys.
Sundown, thank you so much. Appreciate the quick analysis of everything that happened in the middle of that game. A lot of action here at the Fortnite World Cup solo competition. This is the last day for the entire event as well. I hope everyone has enjoyed Marshmallow's concert. We have tons of people here in the crowd. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just been ridiculous. So much fun.
My Italian family was out there, 25 people deep. They've got a full deli layout. Unfortunately, my Aunt Lorraine down in Florida, I know you're watching. Shout out, we love you, miss you. But no, they're all here for their first ever event too. It is an incredible energy in here. And you know, guys in the venue, do you guys want to see another Fortnite World Cup next year? Should we do this again?
I'm thinking, yeah, Jim.
All right, budget's approved, Epic, it's happening. But folks, let's get back into the action. Game number 2 about to begin. Booga, the superstar of Game 1, the talk on all social media with the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What a play. The lobby is ready. The players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the venue, are you ready? Game 2 of the solos competition here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals starts right now.
After last game, I have a feeling you're going to see maybe potentially more contested drops and players vying for those points, seeing exactly what can be done now. Booga bringing home 9 eliminations in that first game. 7-4. Darkos, I think, having 4, King with 7. Going into game 2, yeah. Yep. Knowing that we still have flag away. Knowing based on the leaderboards. By the way, a quick note, we can see the minimap, but I think Tifu, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I'm pretty sure. Solid early game loadout. Pick up maybe one more movement ability, depending on whether or not he wants to keep the flintlock in his inventory. We'll have to see. Still hopefully looking for a slurp at some point. MQ and Mr. Savage not far from each other. Takamura and Clarity G also in Happy Hamlet. my least favorite drop, I'm going to be honest with you, but a lot of these players know exactly where the chests are and know exactly how to get there as fast as they can. And there are so many materials down here. This also is one of the highest chest spawn counts in the entire game. This POI is insane.
Yeah, I believe 29 possible chests or something along those lines, but as MQ says, you know what, let me roll away for right now. Give that to Mr. Savage. Over to Snobby Shores and Hornet. Gonna spray down with that heavy assault rifle. Only 19 AR shots left, Dr. Lupo, so we'll have to use them wisely here. 8 players have dropped so far in the zone. More of a southwestern side zone on this one, so already some good variation between the zones in Game 1 and Game 2. Hornet will continue to move slowly but surely over to Nyx. Again, looking at the map. Looks like a lot of players.
Going to try and take that southeast corner building, see if there's anything left inside, but there's so much loot here, the block, so many materials, so many opportunities to get an advantage in Sedition too, because you're right up the hill, like I said before, there's baller spawns up there. Those are going to get grabbed pretty quick, but if they don't, if you're lucky enough, you have free rotation as well. So not terribly far from a slipstream to south, just past the umbrella. Glory down there. Meanwhile, Mr. Savage, 1v1 down here. There's actually 3 players total. My apologies. You see on the minimap at the bottom right there. They can't see those arrows, but we definitely can. And Crew and Takamura still down inside in the building. Audio cues trying to listen for each other. Takamura, you see, not really moving. Crew trying to do some wall replacing to build up a little bit of a material buffer in case fighting does happen here. I think Mr. Savage is going to rotate out.
Here is Tfue, the player just in front. The fight he's definitely looking to take. Not sure exactly what the health is of the opponent just ahead, but you got to think, okay, so there is a health advantage. Maybe Tfue did a bit of damage as Kluja will begin to heal on up. So it does look like Tfue damaged the player, thought about challenging, but for right now, we'll just box for a moment. They are very, very soon going to have to move towards the zone.
You're watching online and you get an opportunity here. 2 shots from Tfue. Be very accurate. We've seen it before, and we'll see him again with that UPC rifle. He's one of the best in the game.
That was kind of greedy from Tfue. He has a ton of material. I think we didn't expect his opponent to challenge and go for a shot, but because he tried to save a couple walls of wood, has to pop one of those big shields. And Kluja says, you know what? I'm out of here, and the zone's already there. So Tfue has a long trek ahead of him. Might have to decide if he's going to use a launch pad here. Probably not, as he does have the slipstreams down below, but still will take some damage from the storm.
If there is a rhythm spawn on the burger, he can take the zip across, jump off midway through, and go down and grab it. We'll see.
Booga eliminated to start off this game in 90th place. So our Game 1 winner out early on, which means that that 9-point lead will surely be cut down as this one goes on quick thing I want to remind everyone of. Yesterday, we were nearing the #1 trend in the world on Twitter. I'm going to challenge all of you right now. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup across everywhere. Send in how you're watching today. Let me know who you think's going to win. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup everywhere from the millions of you all tuning on in. Can't stress that enough. Let everyone know that the largest event, one of the largest events of all time, concludes today with a $30 million prize pot in total throughout the weekend.
Tsar holding an edit here. Stuck in a little stalemate. He's going to hold that side, look for the shot. Can't quite find his player. Backs out of that. Not fast enough to get
Mr.
it.
Savage goes down to Mega.
Big names eliminated early in this game, too, the World Cup solos. Tsar holding this edit yet again. Just trying to wait and watch to see if he's going to spot this player make a move. This might be a opportunity to make a play here. Twins kind of baiting the ultimate high ground here. Little resets, can go for a wall. Doesn't get it. Fly, can jump up, build the range, defend against any shots. It's a shot from the side. Very good weapon for applying pressure to structures, especially when you see other players are taking shots at the same target. Let it fight and top up your screen there. Replay between Niddle, opponent inside the box. Head it down. Fight. Shot. Follows through with a second, third, fourth, and the elimination.
He had 1 health left. If you look, after the 50 health was earned, he was stuck at 50, meaning he was under 1 HP. He had effectively 0.9% health. And goes down right there. His opponent can't win the fight as he's rewarded. Nakamura on your screen, 179 total HP, and that's a tough battle you have here, Dr. Lupo. Do you use your last healing item in the big shield for only 21, or do you hope maybe 179 health is enough for the next fight? The double-edged sword, a tough decision to make. So 4 more players need to go down before the end.
wait outside in the storm, forcing your opponent to take damage, knowing that they're not healed with their own HP. Basically a way of weakening them, and then you choose the time to engage. Means you don't even have to be as active as before. Got a shotgun, a couple shots in that player on rotation with Shadow Bomb. A little more difficult to see them since they're basically invisible. They are a shadow.
Yeah.
Is that why they call it a Shadow Bomb?
Not entirely sure yet. I'm still figuring that out. He's not safe in the next zone. He's going to use the launch pad. He's going to try to use whatever his opponent places down right here.
Try and bait, doesn't put down that launch pad. Here we go. Thought for a second he might go for the right. Chooses not to. Flying past multiple players in.
Shadow Bomb.
Here we go. Shots from the backside. Pressure being applied on Tfue, and he's going to have to box up for just a second. There it is. Shadow Bomb and door edit. Making a move on the outside. He is in the shadow form still, and you can keep this by jumping against the wall.
That was not a good Shadow Bomb, I can tell you right now.
Gotta be disappointed there. Big hit from above, down to 55 HP. Tfue, the edit from the outside, and he is eliminated by King.
And look who it is again. King, the player with 7 eliminations in game number 1, keeps the aggression going. In game 2, the heavy sniper that immediately destroys that wall and is rewarded with incredible loot, almost max builds as well. Tfue, a very quiet start to today's World Cup competition.
There's that elimination on Tfue, shot from above. A little bit of shield damage, but a big hit from the outside, using a heavy snipe to take that wall almost instantly. Very intelligent play there. And more aggressive players we've seen thus far.
Yep, and it's working out up to this point.
Oh my God, this is right on the edge. So many players on the east side of the safe zone, and this is a far southwest. Remember, about a third of it is in the water right now. Nobody's on the island, the outside. We're going to see where this is. There it is, focused just to the west. That submarine atop the ice mountain right there.
But look at how many players are stacked on the right side of that zone. So if you're currently in this next zone, on that north or east side, you can put a ton of damage downrange. Everyone has to move right at you. You see Karu does go down to Diego GB in your elimination feed. Drop.
Still trying to get the beat on players. A quick beam on aspect up the ramp, caught off guard by an edit play. A shot through the wall, gets the follow through with the edit. Nate goes down. He is playing out of his mind right now.
King reminds me of like Vinny and Zextro back in the earlier duo competitions when they would just try to fight anyone they saw. King, 7 eliminations in game 1, now 4 eliminations in game number 2, and there's still 42 players remaining. And there is only one person in the next zone that just popped up, Dr. Depot. It is as far left as possible, and look at the arrows. Granted,
KC needs to take a drop there. Yarkos gets beamed from the side. Eliminated by Scalar. Arkram in the feed, pick it up, and Elam on Bella EU. Dubs, Bucky, multiple players still in this game on your screen. Clicks taking out Cease in the feed.
29 players left is the big thing to note. Four
away.
more from placement points, which if you make it to top 25, instantly 3 points earned. That is on the mind of every player still remaining, and the zone's still moving west now.
Shots through. And he got the quick swap there, picks the shotty back up. Interesting little play on the fly there from Zell. Just enough damage to the wall. Here we go. Shockwave. A little optimal placement. Maybe a little time to disrupt the Shockwave into a Shadow Bomb. 9,000 IQ.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Get all the way across the map and take as high on the mountain as possible. Very excellent play there for positioning the King, the star of the show. Thus far for game 2. 5 eliminations. We are in the top 25 for placement now, so those points go out. That's got to push King even higher on the board.
Yeah, King was already surging towards the top of our leaderboards. Now could very well be after this game. King spraying out through with the submachine gun. Players moving as fast as they can over this mountain. The left side of your screen, now the full screen. Enku still moving through. Look at how fast he can tunnel. Benji Fishy still alive in this game. Just took down. Down the hill we go. Rogue Shark on height right now, but will need a waterfall down for a moment. Vivid still followed on up. King down to just 40, 30, 20, 15 HP. Under 10. No, still 17 HP. Will only be at 42 effective health. I mean, if he gets any further than this, it would be an absolute miracle. And no, down goes King, but I guess third today. Benji Fishy goes down as well.
Still in a baller at the bottom.
Top 15.
Star sitting on 2 eliminations in this, the entire field. Rogue Shark remaining up top, forced into the drop. Get away, looks like a save. And ball damage. Vivid being on the rotation outfield to the high ground.
Vivid's on height.
Still there too.
Vivid's on height.
On all these